Hey guys, it's Sooty.
And Steeze.
We're going to be uploading a 3-part series about speedrunning the game and going over the technical aspects of it. Firstly, we don't show the running gun where you get the rest of the coins to buy the 2 weapons that we're going to use throughout the run, which are Spread Shot and Lobber. We don't show any walking around due to it being redundant, so you'll only see us walk to the first level, but not in between any of the others. Briefly, I would like to go over what a super or an EX is during the fights. In the bottom corners of the screen, you'll see playing cards, which act as an EX meter. Doing damage to the boss fills up this meter, and you can use 1 full card for each super.
So in this first fight here, we're going to be explaining a couple of core concepts that we use, starting with, in co-op mode, the game halves the damage that each player does because there's 2 of you. And so we abuse that by doing what's called a ghost lobber right there, where I shoot a lobber and die so that it counts for full damage, and then I come back in. Another reason this works is from another trick where if the EX hits both the ground and the boss hitbox at the same time, it also does double damage, so those ghosts do triple or quadruple damage sometimes. The rest of this fight and most of this game is going to be just optimizing our spread and EX in the face like that to get the best boss time, but that's about it.
So here is our favorite run killer, the Froggy Boys. In this first stage, either one of them can start the attack, but if the green one, the short one that is right now, if he starts the attack, you can do something that we call pro skip, where we get up close to them and just get as much spread damage off as possible and shoot a couple supers in between there. And if you get enough damage, he'll come down and open his mouth, and that's how you know you got it. This will completely skip the second stage of the fight and immediately go into the third stage, which is what we're looking at now. In the third stage, you have 3 different variations. There's snakes, which we get, there's tigers, and there's bulls. We don't show any of the other variations, but they'll come up when we get world record. Another thing I want to cover is I die and go off screen there. As long as I'm not off screen for 5 seconds, then the run is still good and it's still valid. But anything over 5 seconds, that will be a dead run. This is an example of what it looks like if we got flies instead of the other attack. And now we're just going through this, and we're going to finish up, and then they're going to do their normal rollout animation, and this is the transition into the second phase. So by getting pro skip, we skip all of this. Now we've made our way to Goopy. This fight is pretty self-explanatory. There's nothing new that we're going to be doing in this fight. We're just going to be abusing the mechanics we've already talked about. Here, Steeze is taking hits early so that he can die. And then once he's dead, I can shoot off my 2 supers for full damage because he's dead. But if I were to use them if he was alive, we would only get half damage and it would be a slower fight because of that. Here he's a ghost, which we've talked about, and he's going off screen. But remember, as long as it's less than 5 seconds, we're still fine.
Coming up next here, we have our first plane level. So plane levels are a little different, as for this first one, we only have 1 attack, which is obviously this one you're seeing in front of you. Plane levels, the biggest strategy for them is to just get every bullet land you possibly can. It's really easy to stay lined up with them, but there's a lot of attacks coming our way. On this specific fight, there's a glitch that we do where we take damage in between phases so that our EX that we shoot out, that rocket, hits her multiple times as she's flying back. Another trick we use on this fight is a sticky, where one player has 1 HP and the other player dies in a plane level. As they float up to the top of the screen, they can spam the start button, and for whatever reason, it sticks their ghost on the screen. So that rule about being off screen for 5 seconds doesn't apply here. He's technically still on screen and can be used in the run. So it's a cool little workaround for plane levels that gets abused a lot. This fight right here, as you can see, you shoot the EXs when her face is out so that it chomps multiple times. And I'm aiming to line it up with the UFOs that come in, because if it hits both hitboxes at once, it'll stall the EX and do more damage to the boss, ending in a quicker fight. The last fight here on Island 1 is going to be the Sunflower fight. This one is different than the other ones, where the boss hitbox is up in the air, not on the ground, so we can't do the floor lobber shots to get extra damage. So a lot of this fight is, again, just extreme accuracy and knowing the boss patterns when they come out. We start off just shooting the lobber shot because it does more damage than the spread at this range. The spread, you have to be really close for it to get all its damage potential out. And we just shoot EXs into his face whenever we get them. On this phase, we can switch the spread since he gets low to the ground and it lines up better. It does enough damage, and we just shoot EXs into his face until the fight ends. And it's a pretty quick fight, only about 40 seconds. Thanks for watching. It's been good.
And I hope to see you
And
next
we hope
time.
to see you next time.
Or wait, now fuck.